Hello everyone, today's presentation will be on FEMA's individual and household programs and will be presented by me, Gisette O'Meara. FEMA's mission statement is to support our citizens and first responders to ensure that as a nation we work together to build, sustain and improve our capabilities to prepare for, protect against, respond to, recover from and mitigate all hazards. FEMA was created in 1979 with the signing of the executive order by President Jimmy Carter. The Robert T. Stanford Disaster Relief and Emergency Assistance Act signed into law in 1988 amended the Disaster Relief Act, which gave the authority of emergency financial and physical assistance through FEMA to the federal government with the Presidential Declaration of Emergency. FEMA functions as the federal branch of emergency management in preparation, mitigation, and prevention of all domestic disasters, including natural and man-made, as well as acts of terror. FEMA's individual and household programs provide financial help or direct service to people who have necessary expenses and serious needs they are unable to meet through other means, and some forms of IHP or have limitations and may require additional flood insurance. Home repairs provide money to the homeowners to repair damages not covered by their insurance. The homeowner may also apply for Small Business Administration disaster loan to cover any additional repairs, although this will not pay to return the home to its pre-disaster condition, but rather to provide a habitable one. It covers foundation, roof, window, door, heating and ventilating and conditioning system, utilities, blocking and leveling of mobile homes and sewer systems, etc. FEMA also provides semi-permanent or permanent housing construction through this program that provides direct assistance to or money for the construction of a home, and which only occurs in special situations where there are no other assistance available in locations specified by FEMA. This construction must follow the current minimum building codes and standards in the area, and the homeowner must purchase flood insurance requirements if the home is constructed in a special flood hazard area. This construction aims to provide average size, capacity, and quality with occupants' need taken into consideration. Temporary housing is also provided, which provides money to rent a different place to live or temporary housing units when there is a shortage of rental homes and apartments. Under rare circumstances, FEMA may also provide money to replace disaster damaged home if it can be done with limited funds. If the home is located in a special flood hazard area, the homeowner must comply with the flood insurance purchase requirement and the local building codes related to flooding. Other needs met through FEMA's IHP are medical and dental assistance, funeral and burial costs, the repair, cleaning, or replacement of clothing, household items, educational materials, and specialized tools or protective clothing and equipment needed to perform one job, cleanup items and fuel for primary heat source, the repair or replacement of vehicles damaged by disaster, or provisions for public transportation, moving and storage expenses related to disaster, etc. There are limitations and conditions to the IHP assistance, including the fact that no individual should be discriminated against based on their race, color, religion, sex, national origin, disability, or economic status by any federal entity or official in any form of FEMA disaster assistance. Also, members must also be able to provide proof of identity and sign a declaration stating they are a state citizen, non-citizen, national, a qualified alien, or a qualified alien to be considered for housing assistance. Disaster housing assistance is meant to be a complement when necessary, not to substitute for private efforts, and minor housing damages or short-term shelter is expected to be addressed by the homeowner or tenants and is not an indemnification program. Only FEMA has the authority to determine which assistance is most appropriate for the household and the period of assistance coverage, and usually more than one type of assistance is generally provided. FEMA's tax-free financial assistance should be used only for the specified function, and failure to do so may result in ineligibility for additional assistance. Applicants are also responsible for providing the necessary documentation to evaluate eligibility, including proof of ownership, loss of income, and occupancy, and should retain all records and expenses experienced as a result of the disaster. For applicants with insurance, any assistance provided by FEMA must be repaid upon receipt of insurance settlement payment and must be considered in advance. Applicants who disagree with FEMA's determination of eligibility or form of assistance provided has the right to appeal within 60 days of the date of the notification letter.